an unconnected world. We are living unconnectedly in a networked world. That's where we are. We're supposed to be networked, but we're actually lone rangers in the things we are doing. With his laptop on his lap. Mom is there holding something. 3 children. One child is putting his leg on the chair and he has a tablet. One girl has this thing and one little child again. Then the dog was now lying down watching the television. Because the television was on. The dog was now there watching. It was the dog watching the television. And says, no words, but you can interpret that it is not loneliness, it's a loneliness that handset has brought. 5 people in the sitting room plus dog making 6, but each one in his own world. And the dog cannot say, hey, a goal. He has scored a goal because he doesn't use our language. Then I'm sure if a child were to ask, Daddy, what is the meaning of so? You'll still be dead, working on your laptop. Meanwhile, it's still there. Daddy, you say, not even raising your head. What is the meaning of this? Say, I'm busy. You ask me later. That's where we are now. Beginning at the home level. Now you find out to what extent has handset intruded in the homeliness of our homes. Largely. Now we have bedrooms and toilet and things and suit. So I don't even need to come out for you to know I'm taking my bath. So I'm out there. And the table is set. You come. Where's Maryam? They say it's in her room. Call her. Until they say you should come. Okay, I'm coming. I need to finish this joke. This is a joke. And then, because if you find out, the meal, especially evening meal, still becomes a point of communion, a point of community, if you like, for traditional families. But it's no longer like that now. So you come from your bedroom, you go there, take your measure of rice, and return to your room to eat it. Then 1-2 persons will be at the dining. And it's when you eat, small chats. I could even be targeting your meat, because that's what family is supposed to be. But this one carries the food and takes it to the room. Then tomorrow morning, half of it comes back, say, you didn't eat this, it's okay. I didn't know when I fell asleep. I was actually chatting with my friend and I fell asleep, something like that. So, the issue of handset and the pockets of, okay, let me put it this way. It enhances, in a negative sense, the individuality factor in community. If you go out now and just stay by somewhere and watch people, you see the person is under the tree, is there. He's sitting, resting with his back on the wall of the mosque, is there. That one is sitting on his bike, is this. And that one is in the shop, everything. So we are in an unconnected world. We are living unconnectedly in a networked world. That's where we are. We're supposed to be networked, but we're actually lone rangers in the things we are doing. And it is that sense of community that actually, that sense that I am an extension of that person. That's what makes community. But in the situation where I am engrossed in my own world, far from your own, and we do not even have chance to share and compare experience. So how eventually, if you leave now, I don't miss you, because they're sitting down to discuss. We never have had it. Anna, I'm too big. I just send emoji like this. That's not community. So these are some of the things that actually I say it's an invasion of the communality that actually distinguish human beings. This thing. It has its uses, so we are not saying that. But because we are unable to manage it to our advantage, to the advantage of human relations, that's the problem we are discussing.
Indeed. Like, we do see that when we're using our phones, like we talked about the whole disconnection.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, yes, it's a global village on the internet. So you're connected to a lot more people.
Right.
There's community, like you mentioned,
Yes.
about traditional, like when you're in a traditional family, and
Yes.
during the evenings when they're eating, there's a community, like a communion there,
Correct.
whereby when
Yes.
you're trying to like take this person's meat, you
Yes.
have this conversation. So there's relation there.
Yes.
But now with the phone, you think there's a lot of people at your service, or there's a lot of people there you could talk to.
Yeah.
But we now see that even on social media, people are complaining that you ask someone, how many friends do you have? And they're like, I don't have any friends. So, but you have so many people you talk to on the internet. What happens to them? And they are like, well, they're just people I know. So you now find a lot of people getting themselves distracted from the real world on the phones. And they know it's a distraction.
Yes.
They know that there's no real connection on the phone, but they still choose to stay on that phone. What do you have to say about that?
I like the way you put it now, so that, and they ask you, well, you have 10,000 followers on your page or your handle, and they now ask you about friendship, and you say you don't have friends. You know, in the real sense of knowing, I know this person. That's not possible on the phone. You don't know them. Isn't it why this romance scam is global, exported from Nigeria and West Africa to the rest of the world? Somebody pretends to, they're actually faking it until they make it. Now, you have an online persona, and is intentionally created to mislead, to deceive. And the other person on the other side believes he or she knows you. How many have died? Oh, when are you visiting? You come around, let me show you around. And what you know is that image on the page. That's the image you know. You don't know the person this way. And people innocently stray from there and come and die, because you thought you were going to meet somebody you knew. I know this man. To know involves there are many dimensions of things that happen when you say, I know this person. And that's why when you go to police station and they say, okay, now you want bail him, you say, nah, me. You know him. Honestly, you think again. Do I really know this person? You go and sign bail bond because you think you know. The guy jumps bail, and you are in hot waters. And they say, but you say you knew him. I did not know this side of him. So we need to understand that the world of the internet is an unreal world. It doesn't exist too. That's why when the internet crashes, the world that it sustains crashes. It's an unreal world. And so many of us have built our world around the thing. You put on some nice outfit and you snap and put, and you see many likes. And you think you are popular. You are not. Because those are ghosts out there. Anybody who is out there whose identity you really cannot say, in all honesty, that you know, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. And they come in and out. This person who has given you this thumbs up or like, in the next, maybe you still go ahead and post more things, it will say, this one never do you now. Just say, I do like you. You think we are here to be looking at your pictures? That's how they will give it back to you. And there's no one in the real world. We don't do that to people who know us or people we know. But out there, because the whole thing is mechanical. There is no depth to it. There's no blood in it. And so you cannot even say blood is thicker than water. It's neither water nor blood. Nothing. It's airwaves. So if you go and build a world around what you have no control over, then you are only setting yourself up for heartbreak. And that's what we're talking about. Maybe maybe you post something, a picture, or you post a comment and no like, no comment. And then go back and say, what's the matter with me? Am I now unpopular or people don't like me anymore? And you are worried. People have their pressures and interests. So if you gauge yourself by what you see online, you are using statistics that are unrealistic. And it will normally backfire on your emotions. One way or the other, you take it too much to heart. For me now, I'm very careful because I understand, in the school when we teach ICT and things, we talk about netiquette and things. It's not that. They will insult you. They will insult you and tell you things. People that you will not even allowed to stoop and polish your shoe for you, they will insult you. If you see how they talk about the President Tinubu, if somebody brings out Obasanjo, they will finish him. You mention Lamido or Sanusi Lamido. If you see how do you talk to royalty like this? How do you talk to elders like this? That's what will not happen in the real world. But out there are no laws. Even the laws that are there are difficult to enforce. One funny thing, somebody is in EFCC net now from Kano State. They said the charge against him. He was holding the charge like this. I said, look at this young fool. I think if he comes out of this, he will learn. He said he put Naira on the ground in his room and was marching and dancing on top. He said, EFCC, come and arrest me. Speaking outside, come and arrest me if you can. Is this your money? I'm in my house. They got him. He's not at Abuja. I said, look at this one now. So those are the things we're talking about. The thing can land you one wrong comment or statement or analysis. Go and do analysis of Tinubu's economic policies and see whether they will not call your dad and say, warn your pikin. Warn your pikin, and because of you, they look at something like that. And people come from around those who know. So, the world in which we live, that the world of solid, concrete, tangible, where say people, I can read your facial image and probably be able to guess what is happening around you, and other things. These are the things we are used to in the world, in the real world. The one online does not exist. It's not real. So if your connection, if you disconnect from the real world and connect to the unreal, because you have 10,000 followers, and meanwhile there's a neighbor who, you people are neighbors. You didn't see the person yesterday. It has not crossed your mind. It's evening now. You still have not seen the person. But it doesn't bother you. But you have gone to check the status update of one friend who is in Canada to see what the person, you don't like cow. Wow. But your neighbor is there. So we canvass a position of moderation, of temperance, of balance, of maturity, of discretion. That's what we are saying.
Indeed. When you talk about balance and discretion,
Yes.
we do know that this is what people need to use when it comes to curbing the excessive use of phones. We know that phones would distract you, phones would take you away from the world if you let it. It's the excessive use of anything that actually makes it a problem. And now, although the phone is a tool, we do see people are now intentionally using it as a form of they're creating their own mental imbalance with the phone. They're literally intentionally creating their own mental imbalance, because when you do something knowing fully well that it's actually bad for your mental health and you still continue to do it,
Yeah.
then you're intentionally harming your own mental health. And that's not the self-love we talk about in this program. So
Yes.
as we wrap up, how do you tell the listeners out there to use balance as a form to like improve their mental health when it comes to the use of their phones?
Um, for me personally, you know, I I just made up my mind that I'm not going to let a habit I have formed to form me. You know, people say that we make our habits turn around to make us. So I when I look at my phone and I have made up my mind that I will use my phone on my own terms. That's my decision about it. So if I'm going to the dining to eat now, the dining table is set and I'm going and the phone starts ringing, I say, you wait. So you cannot wait for me to finish my food, stay there. In fact, I prefer to call back. They say, but you are going to spend. I say, don't worry. There's opportunity cost. I prefer to call back than to allow your call upset my plan. So I look at it. If it's disruptive, I quench the sound. When I'm ready, I will answer. So for more than 3 years now, I've been out of Facebook. They have not left me. They remind me almost every day. You have so hundreds of notifications. I say, I hear. You could keep it for me. I'm coming. Because I just realized that, you know, you won't know when you have spent 2 hours on Facebook. And sometimes, at the point at which I made up my mind, you know, I was in the office. I was doing a draft of an article. I had many things open. So I now said, okay, let me look up something online. And then I said, okay, let me just quickly check this Facebook thing. Then I was there. After more than 2 hours, okay, I was actually writing something. And meanwhile, the thread of what I was writing had faded. I said, okay, so this is the thief. Ansett is the thief of concentration, is the thief of time, is the thief of effort. At the end of the day, you are tired, but you cannot place your hand on what you have achieved. Now, my phone tells me, I was happy this on Monday when he said that I say you have used your phone 49 minutes less than last week. I say, because I'm deliberate about this. It's funny. I'm supposed to control this thing, so it shouldn't control me. So what are we telling people? You are at your shop, for instance. You are a student. Now, if you are listening and you are a JAM candidate, I think you have seen it now. They said 70% of those, I don't know whether you're in that group, scored less than 200. So tell me, what have you gained? And JAM created a fake website for leaked questions. And as many JAM candidates that went there, they are now they are now booked for exam malpractice. You know, it's that JAM like a farmer or a hunter knows that these monkeys will not leave my banana alone, so he uses banana to set trap. And monkey has gone there, trap has set monkey. So that's what has happened. If you didn't have an Android phone, probably you would not be looking for where to get leaked questions. So what are we saying generally is that try and be intentional in the use of phone. Maybe you make up your mind, this call I want to make, is it likely to disrupt something you are doing? This call that is coming in, sometimes you know the caller, and sometimes we know the kind of persons that call us. This guy, if I pick the call now for the next 30 minutes, he go to yarn. So I will wait. When I'm ready, I will answer him. Because if I pick it now, he will not let me do what I want to do. And then, well, we have not even thought of the cost of data.
That's why we said there's so many
Yes,
parts to
there's so
this
many
phone.
parts to
We'll
it.
probably
So,
take you to the
all
next
right. So
episode.
we can only say now that please, when you put food on fire, when you have to pick baby from school, when you have an appointment to keep with somebody, you have a way bill to pick, and they tell you now we are traveling, and you are still watching one thing. We want to advise you. You have exam, your timetable is out. We want to advise you. You don't pass via TikTok. You will not pass. Facebook will not pass you. It's the real book, not Facebook. Real book. So we are advising you that please pay attention to what you are doing, and be conscious that your handset is an intrusion. It's an intrusive tool. It serves also, but it is intrusive. It forces itself upon you. And I hope you get to a point that you'll be able to make up your mind that I will not let this thing impose itself on me. I will not let this bed perch on this place. And you can do it. So that for the sake of your peace of mind. And they say, now since you take that call, now it just changed. So I think that's what we'll tell you today.
Indeed, that's what we're going to tell you today. So we do hope our listeners out there, you've learned that the phone, when you have it, when you do not have it, and of course when you lose it, can be like a form of like, it can hamper your mental health. And even the core store, if when you even revolve your world around that phone, it's so bad for your mental health. And we did point out that balance is what keeps you away from the bad effect of that phone. So we're not saying that you shouldn't use your phone, and or if you even have a phone, you should throw it away because it's this monster that's eating into your life. No, we're not saying that. Just use it with more thought and more care. So this is still mental health right here on Qalam Radio, and we do hope that you join us next week, Wednesday, from 10 o'clock to 11 for another interesting episode of this mental health program. And like we said today, there are so many aspects to this phone and how it affects your mental health, and we'll probably talk about that during the next episode. Do stick around with us, and thank you very much, Dr. Sonia Eshiotse, for joining us once again.
My
and
pleasure.
indeed, to our listeners out there, goodbye for now, and we do